Hi, I'm Dr. Christine Hanlon from the University of Central Florida. Let's talk about annotations and how you can live annotate something in Zoom. So one really cool feature that Zoom has, but it has to be set up in meeting settings by the host, is to annotate live when you're sharing your screen. So keep in mind that the host has to set up these settings though. So it has to be set up through the in-meeting settings in Zoom before the meeting starts in order to have access to it. Now, to use it, all you have to do is you have to share your screen. And so I'm going to go ahead and click here on share my screen. I already have a PowerPoint opened up, so I'm going to share it. And it's already in slideshow mode, so I don't have to worry about putting it in slideshow mode or anything like that. And then if I hover up here, I get this menu up here at the top. And you'll notice that there's a new option up here because I changed the in-meeting settings to include annotations. And when I click annotate, it comes up with this nifty toolbar. And this toolbar gives me all kinds of features, things that I can do on my slide that I couldn't do previously. And so you'll notice that I've got a little tool here that shows up. I'm going to forward my slide. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and put it on this one. And then I'm going to go to annotate. And the mouse feature, if you click on mouse, it's just your mouse. So you're just showing your mouse, just like this. If you hit select, you can select portions of the slide to highlight. Very nice. If you use text, you can make a text box and say, yes, you can. You can do this. Now, when you're using the text box, there are some format issues that you want to take in consideration. So you can go to here to format. You can change your color. You can change your line width. You can change your font. And then you can just adjust it using the text box. You can move it around. So those are some things that you can do. I don't know why you'd want to do some of these things. If you make a mistake, you can always hit undo and it will go away. You can draw. So if you choose any of these features, you'll see this one here. It gives you an arrow that you can draw an arrow there just by clicking and dragging it. Here we have a couple of other options for drawing. This one's a thinner option for drawing. You could say, you know, I love this idea. You could take a diamond and put it over something. Whoops, I shouldn't have messed that up. Here we go. Undo. If I want to clear things, I want to clear all my drawings or viewers' drawings. Now, mine is not allowing viewers' drawings. It's only allowing my drawings. So I'm just going to clear them all. And they all go away. You can also use the undo and redo if you want something to come back. You can redo. Oh, maybe you can't redo once you've cleared it. Scratch that. And then you have these options here. So this is a box that you can put around something if you're highlighting something. Here we go, another type of box to highlight. We've got this one. This one is going to be darker, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? Not for that use. And then you've got some circles that do similar things, so you can highlight it. I'm going to clear it again, clear all drawings. If I go to stamp, this one makes little stamps, little hearts. And that can be useful if you're doing something specific and you're like, this is the #1 thing that you want to do when you are working with Give Kids a World, right? Right here, this right here. And it looks a little messy though. So there's that. You always want to think about, is this going to be effective for me? I'm going to clear again because it's getting messy. I just went ahead and I chose another stamp. This one's the check mark. So if I want to say, yes, we want to do this, we want to do this, and we want to do that. That's nice and clean. Questions, anybody? You know, you might not want to use that one. That one's kind of lame. But there are certain stamps that might be helpful, you know, like if you want to point out in a picture and be like, this is me right here. See, that's me. That could be helpful. I'm going to clear it again. Here we go. And this one I think is the most useful. So it's called Spotlight. And so Spotlight has two options. It has a little wand and it has an arrow. So I really like the wand because all it does is it adds like a little flavor to your mouse. And so as you move your mouse around, it looks like a little Tinkerbell. So you can highlight things on your screen. It's kind of like the Zoom laser pointer, right? And I'm not a huge fan of laser pointers for a number of reasons. face to face. But this one, that's pretty cool. And then this one's an arrow. So it turns your mouse into an arrow and you can point things out. You can say, see, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm going to clear the drawings again. The eraser does erase things. So if you mess up and you draw something, whoops, mess up, let me draw something. And you're like, okay, so this is really cool. And then you're like, oh, I really messed that up. You can use the eraser to erase it. You could also just do the undo, which I think is a little bit faster myself. But there's that. And this right now has the arrow, so it doesn't see the spotlight. So that's another thing you want to pay attention to. Whichever one of these you have toggled, it shows up here in the toolbar. So if you're like, oh my goodness, where'd spotlight go? It's right here. Okay. So those are our format issues again in terms of the different options that we have. Undo, redo, clear again. You can also save the annotations that you create, and that can be helpful in a number of situations, but with a presentation, I don't think you're going to do that much annotation. So for the persuasive speech, I'm asking you to do one annotation, one little thing that you're going to do to highlight something on the screen. Okay, and usually it's a picture that you'll be showing, and maybe you're just pointing out that, hey, that's me, right? And it helps to highlight something that you see on the screen. So be subtle, but also use the annotation tool to highlight something to the audience that we wouldn't normally see. It also has a novelty factor to it nowadays because not a lot of people are using that particular feature. So have fun with Zoom, 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 and annotate your screen live in Zoom.